Hello Milo, do you think that people are coming to see you? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Lattes. I'm Noémie, this is Milo, and I'm really happy to have you here today. I find that those monthly wrap-up, creative wrap-ups are just so nice. I know that not so many of you come and watch this, not if you do, you're part of my kind of VIP, so I know that it's always good vibes in here and very nice people in the comments, so always feels a bit more relaxed doing those videos here. Yes, Milo. Yes, they've seen you. I have to say, I already have an hour of footage for this video, so I'm going to try to stay a little bit on topic and not go totally crazy chatting to you guys, otherwise you're going to be here all night. So I have my notes and I'll try to stay on topics. I'll start with the sewing related things. This way, if you're really here for the sewing, you'll see that first, and then I'm kind of going into all of the random news and random things. First sewing thing. In class, we have talked about the right direction of corduroy and velvet, and this is something we've already talked about, because I always say like, no, I really prefer having the nap of my corduroy going down, this way I can stroke myself going down and it's very nice. And I was saying this to my teacher and she was like, no, it's going up because the color is more vibrant when the fabric goes up. And I looked at my corduroy afterwards and I was like, damn it, she's really right. So even though everything I have made in corduroy and velvet so far has been going down, I recognize that my teacher is totally right for that one, and that probably the right way is going up. It makes the color pop a lot better, but it kind of has a gray tinge when it's going down. So here you are. I learned this and it's something we had already talked a little bit about, so I thought I would update you on my groundbreaking discovery, which is the right way is up. Second thing, I have used an overlocker or a serger for the first time. Milo, you're so annoying. I have used a serger for the first time in my life, and I have to say, I was moved. I can understand the hype. So I used the one at school as well. So the teacher prepared it for us and it was all easy, had a good time. So just wanted to say, have touched an overlocker now. It's done. My experience has been made. Another fun fact, when you draft a yoke for your top, so for example, we were drafting a yoke for something that has kind of like a neckline like this and then an opening here. Don't ask, I'll show you the final project. But it has an opening here and then something here, and there's an angle here like that. And for the yoke, a teacher was like, okay, you go all around, and here you gloss over and you do not do an angle here. And the reason is the yoke is not something you're gonna see, it's something that's inside, so the angle is not bringing anything visually interesting, or it's not a design feature. And if you can avoid having an angle, it means you're going to avoid having your seamstress needing to plant the needle in, lift the presser foot, turn it and restart, which makes her lose precious time. And if you have to make 150 of your garments, then it's going to make you lose a lot of time. So she was like, you need to think of the production, and your yoke, you're gonna avoid having any angle so that she can just go and keep going. And I thought that was quite interesting to think like, oh, so except if it's an angle you're going to see, like obviously here I have a color point, like I'm not going to have a curve just for the pleasure of saving a bit of time. But when you are making something inside your garment that's not visible professionally, you are recommended to avoid any angles, because that makes you lose time, and that on scale and like with mass sewing, it's going to make you lose a lot of time. Totally irrelevant for probably your life or my life, to be honest, but I was like, fun fact from school. I am definitely writing this down in my notebook, because every time I have a fun fact, I'm like, need to tell you guys, I'm sharing the fun facts. Hey guys, my video about what's been happening with work came out yesterday night. While I was in my accounting exam, actually, so it was quite something to come out of the exam and see all of your reactions. And I mean, I was a bit like, oh, I hope I don't come out of the exam and everyone's like, my God, you're such a disappointment or whatever. But yeah, it was, well, first the exam, one thing at a time, accounting exam, it went well. So it's really nice, because I feel like this one was maybe one that was stressing me a little bit more than other exams, and I feel like now it's kind of, I was going to say it's smooth sailing until the final costume workshop. No, there's still pattern making. That's going to be a bit challenging because you have to be so precise. But then between pattern making and kind of the final costume workshop one, it's kind of easier exam, I believe. Also a little bit fewer classes now, so it's going to be all right, I think. I'm really happy that this is behind me, that one is done. And yeah, really like starting to see the end of the year already coming close, so that's really cool. Now, so the video that came out, I'm so happy I told you guys. It truly feels like when you have that thing you haven't shared with your group of friends and you're worried that they're gonna judge and you're worried that they're not going to understand, and then you say it to your group of friends and obviously they understand and they're supporting you because they're your friends. And that's really how it felt sharing this with you guys. I was so nervous. I felt like people would be like, oh, you're a failure, you haven't managed, or I don't know, like, you know, it's the internet, you never know what you can find. But I have just had such lovely reactions and everyone's been really understanding, and it feels so much better to not have this a secret anymore. I feel like when all of this started, I had barely started my channel, and it felt very soon to say, oh, but I just started my channel, by the way, things at work, burnout and everything. But I'm glad that now this is said. I feel like it makes it much easier for me, because I kept feeling so bad thinking that maybe you would compare your own productivity with mine and thinking that I managed to sew all of those things in my spare time. But I have a lot of spare time at the moment. I mean, I already said all that, but I felt like the fact that it is now said felt really good to me. It was the right time, and I'm really grateful of your reactions. So thank you for the way you guys all reacted. I feel what the key learnings for me were with one, making the video and reflecting about all that, but also talking to you guys in the comments, is how it's hard to extend the grace you give others to yourself. So first I kind of mentioned, but I was like, oh, I don't have mental health. Like, I'm above mental health, like thinking I'm, you know, better than everyone else. And so first realizing that I do have a mental health was humbling. And then also I just felt so much shame. I felt shame for failing at work. I felt shame. So nasty things happened at work and led to everything happening. And I felt shame for letting those things happen. And I thought, I'm weak. You know, I didn't think, oh, bad things happen to me. I thought I let bad things happen to me, and it's all my fault, and I didn't put the barriers, and I didn't do this and that, and yeah, just blaming myself for everything basically. And your comments were just really kind and really nice. Everyone, so many people are like, you need to trust the process, etc. And I'm like, I'm happy to trust the process. If someone tells me how long the process will be, where we are going and how we are going there, it's like, it's a real exercise in letting go for me, but I think it's going to be good in the end. I'm someone who likes to know everything that happens so much, and I think it's good to let go. But yeah, it was not doesn't come very naturally to me, but you guys, many of you guys said it, and I know it's true. I need to accept that right now I don't know what's happening next, and it's fine. Also, so many of you were like, your wife is so wise, oh blah blah blah, you're so lucky to have your wife. And guys, like, she doesn't need to get such a big head. She knows she's it's like, every time I would be like, oh, one more comment about how great you are. It's like, she's gonna think she's too good for me if you guys keep complimenting her like that. So calm down. No, I'm joking. I love when you guys think highly of her, because I do think very highly of her too. And you are right that she's been very wise the whole time, but I feel like every time I mention her in a video or she appears in a video, it's like compliment galore. Oh yeah, and final learning, that I should make the blazer. People were like, you know, make it now, this way if you do go back to work then it's ready. And it's true. I'm like, well, I have the time now, and maybe when I go back to work there's no more time to make a blazer, or like less time, so I should make the blazer now, and at worst I'll look really cool at brunch. But it was funny how a few people were like, make the blazer anyway, and I think it's nice. The blazer felt like an embodiment of my failure in a sense, and now I'm like, I'm making 4 shirts, I may as well make a blazer at this point, make myself a full office wardrobe for the office I'm not going to. Talking about shirts, have to get going and have to get working at this. I also have a fair amount of sewing homework. Yeah, I'll show you that another time, but it's very exciting. I'm really happy with my suit bag. It's going really well and it's looking cool, and we've started the breeches as well, which are less fun but need to be made as well. So I'll stop procrastinating vlogging and start working and sewing. And yeah, oh okay, quickly, I bought this for my nephew's birthday to make him a fairy slash wizard cape. So this would be the fairy side, and I want still a wizard fabric. I'm going to the fabric store this afternoon to look for that. Originally when I went, I got this as the other side because I was scared to have nothing. In the end, I did find a fabric store that had something that would be more wizardy. But so first it was going to be a fairy but dino cape, but I didn't want a dino cape, I wanted a wizard cape. I think it's going to be more fun. So then I had the dino fabric and I was like, what can I make a 3-year-old in a woven fabric? And it's a bit see-through, so it couldn't be pants, even though Marlo's, thank you so much for the pants pattern, I really considered it, but then I was like, it's quite see-through, so you're gonna see his underwear, and don't know how I feel about that. So then I was like, oh, I'll make a camp collar shirt in this that's going to be so cute. He's going to look so cute. And now I'm like, okay, I need to finish my school homework, make that shirt, make another shirt. And I was just like, maybe that's for next year's birthday. I kind of ran it past through one of my school friends who I talk a lot with, and I was like, do you think I can make a shirt, a cape, a mask to go with the cape, obviously, another shirt, and my school homework this week? And she was like, girl, I know you're not at work, but you need a proper reality check. So reasonableness has said, and my wife also said, you crazy. So as my friend and my wife have both said, I'm not allowed to make a cape, a shirt, a mask, a school thing, and another shirt. I would have tried if they hadn't stopped me, but they said no, so I'll be good. And the dino fabric is going to be kept for a future birthday I'll make. I'm sure he's going to love this. And my wife was like, oh, maybe at 4-year-old he's a bit old for a dino shirt, but I don't think at 4-year-old you're too old for a dino shirt. So I'm like, well, if the pattern gets on sale, maybe in a summer sale or Black Friday next year, at the moment it's on sale, I get the camp color shirt for kids pattern, and then I can sew it at any point that's convenient. And by next March, when his next birthday rolls around, I have a shirt that's ready for him. So that sounds like genius to me. So that's what I'll do. Okay, now I'll go and actually sew. No more procrastinating. Let's go. And then I promptly got sick. Yeah, that kind of sucked. I got sick, and like properly sick. I was, the rest of that day I was on the couch. The next day I felt a bit better and I sewed the cape for my nephew's birthday. The next day I felt awful and I was in bed, and then afterwards I kind of slowly felt better, but then super congested and I really wasn't feeling great. I ended up having to miss my nephew's birthday because I really was not feeling great. Yeah, joke was so strongly on me because I thought I was going to sew so many things, and in the end I sewed virtually nothing, and yeah, it was a bit of a bummer. This shirt was postponed a week in the end because I just literally could not get to it. It's fine, it happens, but yeah. You are not dreaming. I am still cutting this checked fabric. I had started to cut it in the previous vlog, but then lost steam. We kind of had a week of holidays with school and really wanted to take it, so I kind of put all of my homework on pause. Now it's Sunday and I was going to leave really all of my homework for properly after the holidays and restart tomorrow, but it's really good weather, I'm feeling motivated, and I kind of thought it would be nice to have as much done as possible on Sunday. This way the week starts already lighter. So I'm back to cutting this fabric. My big goals for today are doing as much homework as I have motivation for. And then I have lots of small mending jobs, and I think it would be very satisfying to like tick all of those off and to really like go tick and do all of the small mending jobs. I want to stick together the pattern for the next shirt I'm making, and if I have time to paint, that would be great. I told you how I was following the squares the first time, blah blah blah. This is how wonky this fabric has been cut when given to me. Can you imagine? I know I bought it for cheap online and it's all my fault, like I know. But this is the side that I have received. It's cut so wonky, so wonky, it's crazy. Milo and I are both loving. Oh, sorry, Milo, I didn't want to disturb you. I'm just saying we're both loving this weather. It's very cute. He has his head out of the door all day. Oh, okay. Hi. Hello. Hello. I was just showing you had your nose out of the door and that you enjoyed the sun. Like, he just puts his head there and let his brain cook in the sun. Okay, this is just so satisfying. This is my suit bag all cut and ready to go. This is the zipper that's matching, and I have decided I will try to find a bias binding that's going to match this. So I have this little scrap that I'm going to take to the fabric store, and I'm going to go to Reuse Fabric because I had already gone, but I didn't have the actual fabric width, and I didn't want to choose something that in the end would maybe not match perfectly. I think at Reuse, from what I have seen in their stock, they're going to have the color I need, but I might need to actually fold the 7 meters of bias myself, which but then at the same time, small budget means that it's worth it. So I will just do that. Well, in the end, I didn't have to press the whole 7 meters because this one was actually already pre-folded. So I had 3.5 meters that were pre-folded. And then I had, so here you can see the junction. And this one I folded myself and it was wider. So I have a sort of like thin and then it goes and gets bigger there. But I thought this way I'm using something secondhand, and I mean, I hope this is not going to dock me too many marks. I will put it in my folder. So with every sewing project, you kind of have a written work, and I will add in the written work that this happened. What I did is that the front has the thin one all around because I can't remember the exact measurement, but I had more of the thin one. So the thin one is doing all of the front. This is the back, and for the back, I placed the thinner one here because obviously here you can see both next to one another. So I wanted them to look good. But then as you go down on each side here and then here, you switch to the thicker one at the back, and I have also placed the thicker one on the bottom here. I thought it made sense to have the thicker one on the bottom. Hopefully it'll be fine, but yeah, all that to say, I didn't have to fold 7.5 meters of bias. I just had to do a few meters, and I did it with my tool, and so it wasn't too bad. That's leftover fabrics. The teacher made a boo-boo and actually told us wrong requirements, so I have enough to make another 1 million suit bags there. I mean, it's fine. It's wax cloth, and I'll be totally able to use it because I use that to line bags, but as it's not the fabric I like the most, I'm like, don't want to have lots of leftovers. This is my next job for today, probably going to stick all of this together. Maybe that's a bit optimistic, actually. In my head today, I was sticking all of this together, cutting the pieces of the pattern, and then tracing. And yeah, oh, Noémie, you were a bit over optimistic. In my head, I was cutting the pattern pieces today. So the fabric is this one, which is actually the same as I'm wearing now. I'm wearing the dark blue one, and this is the light blue version, which I find super cute. I think it's going to be very nice. So I am actually realizing that sticking the pattern, cutting the pattern, tracing the pattern, cutting the tracing of the pattern, and cutting the fabric might be over ambitious, but at the same time, I'll just do as much as I can, and it's fine. Oh, it's such a nice weather. It's like we are in this moment in Belgium where everyone just can't stop commenting on what a nice weather it is, and it really lifts your spirit. Another thing I want to show you while we're in the office, I wanted to do a running plan. I thrive of having a structured plans. And I kind of had done everything I could do in the Nike app I had told you about. And I really like the Runner app. Trying to keep the cost low. I didn't want to get the Runner app, even though really tempted. So what I found is that they have made running plans for Just Giving. So obviously the app is tailored for you and all special for you. This is just a random plan that's general for everyone. So I printed this, and as you can see, I'm using stickers for every run I've done, and there's nothing more glorious than coming back from a run and getting to put one of your stickers on your run. It's really making me very happy. Your girl doesn't need much. Give me a sticker chart and my life is fine and fulfilled. I don't need anything else, just give me the sticker chart. And then I got injured. So literally, I was so excited with my running program, but without getting too much in my health. I'm hypermobile, and that means I get injured super easily. I always get injured places. And yeah, I got a very, very strong tendinitis on my hip flexor, and I tried to kind of like give it a 2 weeks rest and then go back, but it's just was not working. So no, I'm giving it a very long rest and properly giving it a chance to heal. And I think I also need to do a lot of strength work to properly reinforce all of this and be able to not get injured in the future. But that's such a bummer. I really love to run, but I think I was reaching a point where I was struggling to walk. Every time I would stand up, it would hurt so much. So sadly, no more running for me right now, but hopefully it's just a little break to then feel better and be able to go back. And yeah, I really hope that it's going to be fine long term. But yeah, it was such a bummer. I was so happy to show you my program, and then no more running for me. I'm just doing a lot of walking at the moment. That's fine. I like walking too. Can listen to my audiobooks while I walk. Okay, final sewing thing. I have finished my suit bag. Again, I can see in the viewfinder that the color you are seeing is absolutely not the color of the actual bag. I will put a photo right here so you can see the proper colors. But basically, what do we have? We have a suit bag. I'm in the end quite happy with it, and I think what turned me around is putting the pocket on the bias. That brought me so much joy to do that. Really, I was just so happy with this pocket on the bias. I also put the buttons, I don't know if you can see the poppers, they're not actually lined up equally from side to side. I have lined them up so that they fall nicely in squares. Thought that was much nicer. What else? So this suit jacket has a little hook here at the bottom so that you can hook it like this, and then extra hooks and extra ties here so that you can basically fold it into like this. And this is the portable version I can take on the tram, because obviously when it's fully open it's a bit big. What else? It has a double zipper so that you can just peek in. Where's the zipper? The zipper opens both ways, so you don't need to open it all the way from the top. You can just peek in on the side if you want to. And what else? Oh, I have one of my Kylie in the machine tag on the back, and it says, it's a sweary one, I'm sorry, it says fabric only, mother. And I mean, it's a bit random, but I thought that it fit the color scheme well, and also I was like, this is a tag I will never put on any of my garment, obviously. And I was like, well, this is something I'm taking to sewing school, so a little sewing related tag would work well. To be honest, there was a few that would have worked, but I thought this one was kind of fun. Now, it was quite something to sew. First, if you count the fabric and the zipper, it cost me about 50 euros of fabric. So the teacher actually kind of messed up and gave us the wrong fabric requirements. So I did buy a lot more fabric than I ended up needing. It's fine, it happens, everyone's human. But so it means that with the amount of fabric I ended up buying, and then the zipper, which is a very long zipper, so it's quite expensive, this is a 50 euro bag. Well, I have extra fabric that I can then use for something else, but I did spend 50 euros to make this bag, which you can get at IKEA for 50 cents. Yeah, it hurts to think like how long it took to make something that's worth 50 cents. Obviously this is better quality and everything, but also like the way you make it is that you sew wrong side against wrong side, and then you cover your seams with the bias. And obviously I got it wrong, and I did right side against right side. Had to unpick the whole thing, redid wrong side against wrong side. I mean, I think I hadn't sewn a full side yet. I had to unpick a fair amount, but not like everything. And then to put the bias, I used my edge stitch foot, and oh my god, my new favorite foot in town. I'm so happy. Best 10 euros spent ever. So easy with the edge stitch foot, you just go like shoo. It was so fun. So I think the bias is not placed well enough for my teacher. It's placed well enough for me. I'm happy with it. I think it's fine. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get markdowns for it, but we'll see. When you guys say like that I'm very harsh critiquing my own makes, try sewing school and you'll discover a new level of harsh. Oh yeah, what I wrote as well. I did not want, that's typical Noémie, I didn't want to pin my zipper. I was like, I'm just going to sew the zipper, no pins. I'm a rebel. Guess who spent probably like 5 times the time it would have taken to sew this zipper? Unpicking. That's me. And did I learn? No. I unpicked and kept going without pins, and unpicked and kept going without pins, and unpicked and kept going without pins. Oh yes, I didn't learn. For the second side, I did pin, and I still had to unpick a little bit, but less. So I think you can say I have learned on the second side. So I have learned a little bit. I'm quite curious if there's anything you would like to see from me at the moment, if there's any style of video you particularly like and would like to see more of. I am interested to hear what you like to see best from me. We all know the answer is lots of Milo, but outside of Milo, I'm kind of interested to know what you like to watch. And looking everywhere for clips about me telling you what we did in Paris, because I talked about that last month and I couldn't find anywhere me talking about Paris. So here is quickly a few photos from Paris. We went to see the exhibition from Chiharu Shiota, who was exhibited in the Grand Palais in Paris, and it was a really good exhibition. I was less touched by all the previous exhibits that we just saw photos of, but everything that was there in the room with us, it was really cool. She used a lot of yarn, as you can see, and created links between things. A very touching exhibition altogether. We then went into a super cute haberdashery that had a ton of buttons and ribbons and felt a bit old and quirky and just had something very special. And I was there with 2 friends from school, so it was a very nice chill afternoon, kind of mooching around Paris and looking at cute buttons as you do. And I also quickly wanted to mention, in March, it was my 1-year anniversary on YouTube, and I used to write down in my 1 line a day notebook how many views I had total. That's not on a video, it was like total, how many views I had on my videos. One day I reached 100 views and I was so happy. And yeah, I just wanted to really quickly add this audio into it to be able to show you this. For the non-sewing topics, Milo and I went canny hiking. So this is basically walking with a running harness and your dog is in front of you. Your dog is supposed to be kind of like pulling you forward. Let's face it, I have a corgi, he was not pulling me forward, but still I was so proud of him. Milo's not the best walker, and that's why I wanted to take him. I know that he gets a lot of motivation from being in a group and walking with other dogs. He'll be in a group, he'll have the energy of the group, etc. And he truly did. We did a 10-kilometer walk, which is quite a lot for him, and at around 4 kilometers he started doing the thing where he just stops. If you have a corgi, you know what I'm talking about. And I was really like, oh no, like, dude, you can't do this. Like, we have another 6 kilometers to go and I can't carry you all the way back. He's 15 kilos, guys. Like, honestly, I couldn't have. The teacher was super nice. She kept checking on him and how he was doing. And it was so funny. Like, does the dog know she's a teacher? Every time she would come and check, he'd be like, I'm walking so well. I'm walking in front of my owner just like I'm meant to. And every time she would leave, he'd be like, yeah, I'm done. It's like, Milo. But yeah, in the end, he struggled a bit at 4 kilometers, but then the teacher gave us kind of a water break and a little rest. And I think that really helped. He felt much better afterwards. And even though the last 2 kilometers you could see he was really struggling, he really fought for it and he really worked hard, and I was really proud of him for, you know, trying this hard and doing so well. And yeah, just wanted to say it was such a nice experience. I'm really excited to go back. Also, I'm going with a friend and her dog. Yeah, I'm really hoping that doing this more often will kind of build his stamina a little bit. In the list of random stuff, I cut my own hair, and I just wanted to show you how I do it, because I feel like if you have hair like me, so kind of like curly hair, you can get away with not having a straight cut, because anyway it doesn't show because your hair curls and goes everywhere anyway. And I just wanted to show how I do it, which is basically I brush my hair and I make sure that it's as brushed as it can be. I brush it towards the front, I do the unicorn tail thing. And then what I do is I check that the shortest hair, the ones at the front, are still long enough to go behind my ears, because I really like to be able to tuck my hair behind my ears and make sure that it's out of the way. Also that it's long enough to be attached in a ponytail, that's also important to me. And then I just chop the end. and then honestly it's like a 2-minute thing and then your hair is cut. And I'm a bit sad because on Friday it was looking perfect and I really was excited to show you my new haircut. I feel like today the curls has decided they're not cooperating. Doing this haircut with curly hair kind of works because it means that you have lots of different layers and that your hair has space to place itself nicely. With curly hair, if you don't have layers, I find that you end up looking a little bit like a triangle. So yeah, I'm sorry it's very random, but I thought, I'll share that I cut my own hair, and that if you have hair a bit like mine, you can probably cut your own hair too and save a lot of hairdresser money. If you love going to the hairdresser, by all means do. It's just that I find it super stressful. I'm never happy with what they do. I just prefer doing it myself, and I thought I would show you how I do it. The bake of the month is croffins. To be honest, I'm not really sure why they're called croffins. So it's because they're a mix between a croissant and a muffin. But to be honest, I find that they're more cinnamon rolls, like a croissant cinnamon roll. And they were really nice. I tried them twice. The first time, I think I didn't cook them quite enough because I didn't want them to get too brown. But when you're making something croissant related, you really need to go and like bake it properly so that it's super crispy. So the second try I did this month was a success. It was really, really yummy. You can see I'm still very much on my cinnamon roll vibe, but those ones are a lot more involved because there's all the lamination. Sometimes when you're like, I feel like a big baking project that's going to take a while, but then it still like doesn't take so long because you just laminate, put in the freezer, laminate, put in the freezer. So you have lots of breaks and then you have a delicious snack afterwards. So that was my bake of the month. I wanted to announce something through showing you books I have bought. There's one on my audiobook app and two in my hands, and I will show you and we'll see if you can guess what my news is. It's basically where we are traveling this summer. So this is the first book. The foil is very sparkly, so I don't know if you can read, but this is going to make things much clearer. So yeah, we are traveling to Japan this summer, so I wanted to get some Japanese books to immerse myself in the Japanese vibe. And I have also bought A Brief History of Japan by Jonathan Clements, this book. And I thought, you know, I kind of want to go and have a little bit of an idea of what's what. So it's an 8-hour and 41-minute book. I thought that would be fine and nice, and I don't know if it's weird to listen to the history of the country you're going to, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to be in the right mood. I also got a couple of books on my Kindle because I was thinking in Japan itself, I'll probably take my Kindle and not books. This way I'll read to the ones on my Kindle while we are traveling. So it's kind of early to tell you because we're going end of July, so you know it's a while away, but I still wanted to tell you because I just got the books and I'm pretty excited. Editing Noémie, how could I forget? I also got A Year in Tokyo from Christy Ann Jones, who is, by the way, my new best friend. She doesn't know it, but I've been watching all her video from like 4 years ago quite religiously, so I've been watching a lot of her and also reading her book on Tokyo. Hey, welcome. Wise one. every time we mention you, everyone's like, Francesca's so wise.
I'm wise.
Wise one.
Yeah.
What are you blessing us with this month?
So my disciples.
It's like your favorite of the month.
Yep. I read it last month when I was sick. But this is a book that I highly recommend if you like cozy fantasy. It's really the definition of cozy fantasy novel. It's called Legends and Lattes. Sorry to interrupt the wise one, but please ignore the way I look. I have blue eyes and I get really squinty and I can't see from far away, and I think I'm like trying to see what's on screen and I look so unimpressed. I have the most resting bitch face. I just want to say I was very happy to have Fran on the video and I don't know why I look so grumpy. I'm sorry. It's really the definition of cozy fantasy novel. It's called Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree, and it's a story of an orc who is like a mercenary and retires to start a cafe in a small town. And it's super cute. I bought this because I'd read the second one in this kind of series called Bookshops and Bone Dust, which is a similar story about bookstores.
You can read them out of order.
You can read them out of order. It's like the same universe, but you can read each one separately. And it's very cute. Would highly recommend.
Should I read it?
Mm-hmm. I already told you should read it.
Oh, I did not care or listen.
But I was sick, so maybe I wasn't as emphatic as I could have been. Would recommend, and also he self-published it, and then because it was so popular, he got a contract. So
cool.
It's an underdog story as well.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for your recommendation. Very welcome. Then I'll take it.
Yep. Enjoy.
Okay, and I can feel that my voice is absolutely dying now, so I will leave you for this month. I'm super excited for next month. I have actually 2 really cool partnerships coming up. I can't wait to show you. I'm really excited, and I'm also starting to work on a friend's, I want to say wedding dress because it's so much more exciting, but it's night before the wedding dress. So it's still a white dress, and it's going to be a super exciting project. I don't know if I can already show you that next month. Maybe I'm going to maybe that's something that I'm gonna save for after her wedding, so that, you know, I don't spoil anything by putting it on the internet. But I'm starting to work on that next month, and I'm super excited, and I'm super excited to show you what's coming. Thank you so much. I have no clue how long this video is going to be, but I hope it was reasonable, and I hope you had a good time. I really want to thank Birgit for tipping me a coffee. Thank you so much. I hoped I pronounced your name right. If you like this video, don't hesitate to give me a big like and to subscribe if you want to come back for more. And don't forget that you can make anything. Bye!
Filming. Boring. Oh, back plate. Wow. Whoa. Oh. Yeah. Nice. And Milo.